Ladies and gentlemen. Well, good evening, everybody. Hope you've all had some lovely drinks and nibbles in the other room. Welcome to the annual KTP Celebration 2021 here at the University of Essex. And for those who are joining us via live stream, which is over there, we'd like you to add your thoughts and your comments on the chat and on social media as well. And if anyone here wants to add comments on social media, then please feel free to do so. My name is Karen, and I'm absolutely delighted to have been invited to host tonight's event because I've been involved with the university in some way, shape or form for about 30 years. And at this point you go, oh, you don't look old enough. I was actually a local reporter. I started in newspapers, then I went into radio, then I went into television. And in fact, Dean, who's filming tonight, is my old cameraman, but I better not say old or he'll kill me. So I'll say former cameraman and editor, and we both used to work at Look East. But what was exciting for me back in those days was on a Friday when a fax, and it was a fax, used to come through from the University of Essex press office. And I used to rub my hands with glee and go, oh, thank God, I've got a news story for the weekend. And I was always really grateful to the marketing team here. And I was always happy to come up here and do stories. There was always something really interesting happening. I then left the BBC and I set up Mosaic, which is a PR and digital marketing agency with a training division. And we're celebrating our 21st anniversary this year in Colchester. And over the years, I've been involved with the university in lots of different ways. I've delivered training courses here, media interview skills for lots of academics and staff, things like podcasting, copywriting, all sorts of bits and pieces. I've done videos, and in fact, the videos that you see tonight have been produced by myself, one of my colleagues at Mosaic, and also Dean. And we've also employed people from the university. We've taken people on, both on work experience and also in full-time jobs. And we're always looking for the best talent, who, particularly those people who are very creative and innovative in terms of digital marketing, because that's where things are for us these days. And I'm a Colchester ambassador, and what that means is we're a group of people that are really delighted to uphold everything that Colchester as a town has to offer to businesses who are looking to inward invest. And I always say to people, we are so lucky. We have the best university. We have an award-winning university. We have a university that very recently was University of the Year. So I think a big round of applause for that, don't you? Now, tonight we're here to celebrate the achievements of those individuals and businesses who've made the knowledge transfer partnerships here such a success. But before we have the award ceremony, we're going to hear from some excellent guest speakers. We're going to hear from Julie Paulie, who's the Gateway Lead at Innovate UK Edge South East. Got that right? About funding opportunities for innovation. We're going to hear from Essex KTP Associate Jessica Cebriane. Hopefully I've got that right, about the work she's doing as a data scientist for the Stevenson Harwood law firm. And also we'll be finding out all about Rolls-Royce's new Ultra-Fan Aero engine from their Chief of Manufacturing Engineering, Tom Slade, who I've been chatting to earlier, who himself was a KTP associate at Sheffield Hallam. So to those of you who are in the room here, there are some very interesting table decorations. You'll have probably seen there's some strawberry plants. Apparently, you can explore, eat, and fly. You're not going to fly the strawberries. You're going to find some drone instructions. This is a bit worrying, isn't it? There's a drone here somewhere on the table. And in that black folder, you'll see the drone instructions. And apparently, there's an ambulance waiting outside. But now I'm delighted to hand over to the University of Essex's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Anthony Forster, to kick off the formal part of this evening's celebration with his opening address. So please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Well, good evening to everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here to welcome you to our KTP celebration. I want to express my absolute pleasure to be standing here physically in a room with all of you, and indeed want to thank you for being here with us, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. as we navigate what is, we hope, the end of the pandemic, and who knows in relation to the petrol shortage. But for those who've driven, thank you. We appreciate that too. And of course, meeting in person has raised all sorts of new issues. For me, for the first time, I've had to worry about what I wear. Should I wear a suit and a tie? Should it be something more casual? Should I be influenced by Daniel Craig's sumptuous raspberry pink velvet jacket and bow tie? Or will I be overdressed or underdressed? And of course, these conversations have run on and on throughout the morning and indeed the afternoon as we've been trying to work out what the right thing to wear is for this occasion. Of course, in truth, none of that matters. What really matters is that we've gathered here today, and for many of us, it will be the first, I think, of I hope, many opportunities to come together in person after 18 months of a pretty miserable time in relation to the pandemic. And I want to take an opportunity to congratulate everyone on continuing to be creative in the most difficult of circumstances, because the last 2 years have really shown us that innovation is crucial not only just for survival, but for our success. And I hope our external partners will forgive me for just allowing me to take a moment to thank the Essex leadership team, in particular our new Pro Vice-Chancellor for Research, Professor Chris Greer, who only started on the 1st of August of this year, but this afternoon wins all the plaudits for our amazing track record in our knowledge transfer partnerships over the last 10 years. It would be right and proper to thank your predecessor, Professor Christine Rains, who isn't here with us in person, but has done some pretty amazing leadership in this space of business and university partnership. I want to acknowledge the work of Robert Walker, our Head of Business Engagement, and Rob Singh, our Director of our Research and Enterprise Office, and their teams, who've been absolutely amazing advocates for working with business, and I know have made it as seamless as possible in working with the University of Essex. And we know that notwithstanding our own desire to work with business partners, ultimately we need business partners to be willing to work with us, to persevere with some of our idiosyncratic approaches to the way in which we go about our business, and hopefully that you've been able to do that to very good effect. And thank you to our wonderful partners in industry and business and the public and private sector. You've pivoted your operations in a variety of different ways to overcome what might have seemed insurmountable challenges. And one example is our KTP partner, The Finishing Line, which transformed their operation from packing and posting magazines to becoming a major assembly and distribution hub for COVID test kits. Another example is that of our partners at Cloud FM, who pivoted their research and development operation to address the need to sterilise hospital equipment on a vast scale. These are two of the very many examples of our partners' creativity, and on behalf of the university, we want to say a very big thank you. And throughout this tumultuous time, we've continued to deliver outstanding growth and progress through our KTP partnerships. And since we last met in December 2019, we have 15 new partnerships that have been successful and completed 25 new ones that have just begun. I'm delighted to have been able to amend my script about half an hour ago that previously reported that we were delighted to have retained our second position in the UK of any university for the number of KTP partnerships. And I've got a message from Rob that this afternoon we were informed that we're now ranked number one in the United Kingdom for that portfolio. An absolutely fantastic achievement. To put a few numbers on that, we now have a portfolio of over 40 knowledge transfer partnerships worth a cumulative total of over £10 million. And we've pushed hard, really hard, to extend collaborations into new research areas and areas of business, something that we continue to be keen to champion. And I do need to say a few words. We're going to hear in a few moments a little bit more about our amazing KTP associates who lie at the very heart of every single partnership. I know it's been difficult for all of us, but it's been especially challenging for our KTP associates in unimaginably difficult circumstances, they've continued to deliver absolutely excellent research, leading to genuine commercial impact for our industry partners. And many have been retained in senior roles within their host companies, and others have secured really impressive positions at the likes of Amazon, Sky, and Ocado. So I want to say a very big thank you to you, and we'll be hearing from one of our amazing KTP associates in a moment. And like many of you, we're stepping up our game in responding to global challenges. In December of last year, we declared a climate and ecological emergency, galvanising us in our aim to reach net zero. But perhaps even more importantly, it's a step change in our mindset in how we approach sustainability, which now shapes our thinking and drives new partnerships in climate and ecology and that particular area of sustainability. We've also approved a new multidisciplinary institute for public health and well-being, which will enhance our contribution to addressing urgent global health crises and act, I hope, as a focal point for further developing public-private partnerships. And I know we have already a rich and emerging group of health providers that are working with us. We're very keen to accelerate that work. And it's only by working together that we'll address the existential threats and safeguard the health of our planet and our global communities. And that remains a very important priority for us, making a difference to real people's lives. Research England, the overarching funder for university business collaboration, has today announced an additional £32 million of funding for COVID recovery, collaboration and capacity for 2021-22. And more details will no doubt emerge in due course. But this really is a very exciting piece of news as it opens up new opportunities for our collaborations in the coming months and years. And our enterprise team will be staying abreast of the details as they emerge, and will be very keen to help signpost you to any opportunities that we can identify. I've no doubt that through our combined efforts we'll achieve a variety of different goals that we can't possibly imagine today. And that's why we're here together this evening, to celebrate amazing partnerships and to start conversations about what we might achieve together in the future. So all that it remains for me to do is to wish you all a very enjoyable evening. I'm well aware of the huge amount of work and dedication you all put in to making KTP partnerships a success. And this evening is all about celebrating our achievements. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Wow, number one, that's a good news story. I love good news stories. Thank you, Anthony, for those really inspiring remarks. The Vice-Chancellor has challenged us to think about what could be possible if we work together to innovate. But investing in innovation can sometimes feel like a risky prospect, particularly in turbulent and uncertain times. And sometimes we need a helping hand. Our next speaker this evening, Julie Paulie, is going to talk to us about the myriad of funding opportunities available to businesses in this region, which can support innovation and growth. Julie is an experienced advisor to business who has worked with hundreds of small to medium-sized enterprises to access the help that they need. She has a background in running her own marketing consultancy business, helping many smaller companies open doors to enable them to trade with large corporates. She's worked in a variety of roles within public relations, marketing, and innovation and growth coaching. And tonight, Julie is going to give us an overview of the support offered by Innovate UK Edge. I was put off there by the crowd. It's been so well. Please join me in welcoming Julie to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. I've got double mics on, so if you get any strange response, that's possibly the reason. So, welcome. I'd like to introduce and give you an overview of Innovate UK Edge, which you may or may not be aware was launched as a new branded service from the 1st of January this year. Previously, the service was branded Enterprise Europe Network, and you may or may not have used that service before. It's been around for a very long time. It was established over 10 years. Predominantly, it was funded 60% by European Commission, 40% by UK government, and by the end of this year we will then go on to be fully funded for support for innovative companies with an aspiration to grow and scale by Innovate UK. So we are very directly linked in with the Innovate UK family. So what do we offer? I'm just going to pick this up and move to the next slide, sorry. So what do we offer? So we help companies to exploit their business innovation. We help them to source funding and finance by allocating you with the support of an innovation growth specialist who will help you to look holistically at the type of funding you need to launch or commercialise your innovation. It could be looking at investors, it could be obviously looking at Innovate UK applications, it could be looking at Horizon 2020, European funding, if we're collaborating with international partners as well. So there's a whole host of funding out there, and not to forget innovation loans that are available to you. So they will look very holistically at your business and look at all the different options available to you. We can also help you to enter new markets. And we're talking global markets, so we want to work with companies that have an aspiration to go global. So, can you still hear me? I think my mic's just hit the floor, sorry. Should we go with the other traditional version? Thank you. So I'll just move on slightly. Okay, so what have we achieved so far? I mentioned, as I say, the Innovate UK Edge was launched on the start of January this year, but as I say, we were previously already supporting companies under Enterprise Europe Network, and these are some of our achievements that we've achieved so far to date. So out of 182 companies that we've supported, and this isn't our entire client base, we've got just short of 500 clients that we're currently working with at this moment in time. But these are those companies that we've completed our timeline effectively with them. And we've helped 182 companies to raise £56.5 million in funding and finance. 18 companies we've helped to support to streamline their overheads to the sum of £1 million. And 191 companies we've helped to either 191 companies we've helped to safeguard jobs or create new ones to the total of 1,569 employees. Our team operates in, these are East of England figures, what mentioned that we cover the South East, but Innovate UK Edge is a national delivery body, so wherever your company is, we can support you. It's just that my team in particular are based in the East of England, and these are those figures from the East of England. So these are the key areas that we tend to get involved in. Obviously, access to finance is always a very strong one. A lot of our clients, that's one of the areas that they want support, but it's not always finance. We do work with companies that are very financially stable, and they want help with things such as sales and marketing and a strategy for growth, so helping them to commercialise their concept and idea and taking it to market. We're firmly linked and still members of the Enterprise Europe Network. Even though we've had a name change, we are still members of the network. So we still have access to the global network, which I will go in and expand a little bit more on in a short while. So that global expansion and building those international partnerships is an area that we can strongly support you. Everything we do is measurable, so we work very much to smart, measurable outcomes. We agree an action plan at the start, and your innovation growth specialist working with you will help you to make those measurable impacts. So if you do come on board as a client with us, we will be looking to make a difference because that's how we're measured. So a little bit about the Enterprise Europe Network, which, as I say, we're still firmly involved with. The actual name Enterprise Europe Network never really truly gave a good concept of the breadth of support globally within the network. So 65 countries are involved, and as you can see from the map, all the red areas are areas where we've got a presence, including US, Canada. I know Nigeria's in there because I've certainly introduced clients to contacts in Nigeria myself. 600 partners are involved in this. We're just one partner in the East, but obviously you've got the whole of the UK and obviously in those or across those countries. When I first joined the company, I went out to Brussels and I met 32 of my contacts in the network, and that was a fantastic opportunity to do that and made some really good contacts myself. So 3,000 experts, that's bodies on the ground to help you move your company forward. We've got partnering managers, so we've referenced to how does this work effectively. So if you think of a dating app for companies that have innovation that want to go global, that's effectively how this works, this network. It's a portal. We can help you to raise a profile. We can get your profile published. And once it's published, it's sitting on there working for you 365 days a year, 24/7 across the globe. You can be specific around the types of countries that you want to have open to you. You don't have to open it up to the global opportunity. For example, if you know there's an emerging interest in what you're trying to take to market in Germany or another country, you can be very specific. You can also go onto the website, Innovate UK Edge website, and you can actually do a search yourself. You can actually go on there and put in, on the partnering side, some keywords around, it could be around certain technology, and you can see certainly things such as emerging technology that's coming out across the globe. You won't see company names because company names are not published, contact details are not published, but if you have an interest in anything and you want to collaborate, maybe there's some technology aspect to it that you're interested in, then you can put in an interest and one of our team will make contact with you. So we can help companies to move into a variety of these markets, not just from the Enterprise Europe network side of things, but we also have a global business innovation manager within the team, and we run Global Business Innovation Programme, which is about very sector-based. Outside of COVID, we were running about 15 events a year. 6 events a year, taking 15 companies from the east of England out on each event. There's quite a lot of those coming up. There's new events coming through. We've got things such as Taiwan, Singapore, lots of different connections where we can get you involved. Fully funded. We basically fly you out to, as I say, hybrid at the moment, some of them depending on the COVID situations, but we can fly you out to a country. You're fully supported. There'll be a member of staff out there with you, to introduce you to potential contacts. Meetings will be put together. Fantastic resource, so that might be something of interest. The Global Incubator Programme we have, that's, for example, it's funded by Innovate UK, and that's with reference to should you want to have an office space in a country where you're looking to enter. For example, we've got US, New York coming up, and there's some others. But you would be funded to have a member of staff with an office facility in the likes of another country for up to 6 months. So that could be a really good, useful resource for you to then be on the ground to make those contacts in that country. So we're firmly part of the ecosystem, as you can see here on the map. We work very closely with the Knowledge Transfer Network. My colleagues, Jan, lovely to see you. We do work very closely, and we do the Innovation family is one big family, and we all work together for the benefit of the clients. Client is centric to everything that we do. So the Catapult Centres, they're technology centres, very specific. We have got some funding at the moment up until March next year that we can help you to apply for. And it's not a massive pot, but we're expecting nationally about 320 companies to be successful in the application. And it's if you've got a project, any R&D, any testing, and you want to work with, for example, the Manufacturing Technology Centre, the offshore renewables sector, then we can help you apply for that. It's up to £15,000. It's 100% funded, although you do have to pay and you'll reimburse, but certainly there could be a project that we can help you take off the ground with that resource. Our innovation growth specialists, they're very knowledgeable in this wonderful landscape, from businesses. When they've got the head in the business, there's a lot to take on, but our specialists will guide you through this quite simply and make sure that you've got access to the right resources. So how does it work? It is an application to work with us. We have got quite a strong team of client engagement advisors, and so we will help you within an hour's meeting. We can help you with an application for our resource, because anything that's funding has an application, I'm afraid. But we can help you within an hour. We pretty much, the team does all the typing for you. You're just talking naturally over virtual team meeting, and they would pull up the application, they go through it, you will agree it, and within an hour you can have that processed. You have to confirm that you're happy for us to put that to a panel. It goes to a panel, and within, I always say no more than 10 working days, often it's 5, but I always say to clients to manage expectation, no more than 10 working days, we can allocate an innovation growth specialist to your business to help you move things forward. It's very bespoke. It's not something we just, pull off and do for everybody. It is down to what your business needs, and they will look closely at your business needs. There is an area where there's a tool that can be used. So we can work with a single director, a founder, or we can work with a senior management team of about 6 to 8 at any one point in time. If we're working with a large team, you'll be sent out a growth mapper resource. It's a question set that's, once you've answered it, you will answer it independently at the senior management team, and once it comes back it gets pulled together, and at that first meeting with your innovation growth specialist, it gives them a very deep dive of where the weaknesses are in the business to challenge. So that's a fantastic tool, and I know KTN, I think you use it as well, Jan, as far as I know. A few of the support bodies do use it, and it's a fantastic tool. So moving forward, we've got 26 impartial, experienced innovation and growth specialists to support you, all with the knowledge of that landscape. A bit of a case study, Blater Therapeutics, university spin-out. We helped them to raise £5,000 and a 1.4 million SMART grant. I'm whizzing through these because I've been given a 1-minute sign, so so bear with me if you can't keep up, but I am here for the rest of the evening. So Techspert.io, 3.7 million. We helped them, predicted 30 staff, they've well exceeded that now. So how can we tap into this for you, or how can you work with us? We can work with any stage apart from pre-seed. So if you've got your company registered and you've got that innovation and you've got that aspiration to go to a global market, we want to talk to you. So we're looking for companies that have that disruptive, looking at something innovative that's disrupting the marketplace, obviously. 20% potential per year, although we're a bit more flexible with that with COVID. Staff furloughed, labs closed, all the areas, orders on the pad that are no longer there. So a whole areas we're taking into consideration. We used to only be able to work with companies up to 250 employees. We can now work with up to 500 employees, but we do need that potential to go to an international market or an aspiration to do so. And as I mentioned about the senior team. A quick overview on this is an active grant that you can apply for at the moment. It is a very tight deadline, but as soon as one closes, another one does open up. So do keep your eyes on the government website with reference to the Innovate UK funding. And as I say, our team can help you make an application. This would be a particularly tight timescale to work in, but we can help you apply because we've got the knowledge of being so closely aligned with Innovate UK, we can help you make that application. So without further ado, I'm just going to put you on to a quick case study, if I've got time. And, you've heard from me, but let's hear from a client. Oh, sorry. A little bit trigger happy there.
Idna Genetics was set up in 2004. Their company is based on 2 sites. One site is the Scoto Enterprise Park in Cottishall, and the other site is the Central in the Norwich Research Park in Norwich. We have 35 members of staff. We are accredited by the UK Accreditation Service to the ISO 17025 International Quality Standard. We are also approved by the Ministry of Justice to provide tests for UK courts of law. We primarily provide DNA relationship testing for immigration law, family law, and general public. We also provide drugs of abuse and alcohol testing to family law courts and also local authorities and various organizations. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, together with our sister company Incubator Diagnostics, we have been involved in the fight against the spread of the virus and have been carrying out some COVID-19 testing. Our innovation product is to create predictive tools on how best individuals can exercise efficiently, and also eat well. We signed up with Innovate UK Edge because we wanted a fresh perspective on the challenges facing our growing company. We are primarily a science-based company and wanted additional high-level support to challenge us and possibly validate our current and future strategy. The innovation support received was, I would say, excellent. The innovation growth specialists we got to work with us had lots of commercial experience and expertise and provided very valuable advice and was easy to talk to, was not afraid to ask difficult questions. The outcome has been fantastic. Our turnover has increased by tenfold, and the number of staff we have has increased by 25%. We have also been able to add new income streams. To businesses out there, I would say that the innovation support was excellent. It came at the right time for us, and best of all, it was free to us. Please go for it.
Thank you very much. Hopefully that gives you a good overview of our resource, and there's my contact details should you wish to put in a question to me, or I'm here all evening, so do jump and touch base with me over the evening tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. I'm sure we've all come away with a much clearer idea of the support that's available out there. And we're here tonight to celebrate what can be achieved through knowledge transfer partnerships, one of the most tried and tested ways that a business can join forces with a university in pursuit of innovation. And the cornerstone of every KTP project is its associate, the talented graduate who is recruited to lead the project. The university is incredibly proud of its cohort of KTP associates, past and present, who consistently deliver incredibly successful and challenging projects which have genuine impact for the partner company. Tonight, we're delighted to welcome a current Essex KTP associate, Jessica Cebriane, to talk to us about her project with city law firm Stevenson Harwood. Originally from Mexico, I've been practicing my Spanish with her earlier, it was terrible, I can't speak very well. But she's from Mexico, where she completed her bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering, and she's a graduate of Essex, having undertaken her master's in intelligent systems and robotics here, before going on to secure her KTP position. The expertise she brings to the KTP is in machine learning and game theory, which is using to help Stevenson Harwood develop an intelligent and dynamic pricing system. Welcome, Jessica.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to present my project. So I'm just gonna start right away. So it's about quantitative legal prediction, a KTP journey in a law firm. So it's going to be more about the KTP associate side of the things, right? So, I've been introduced already, but I am Jessica Cebriane, a data scientist at Stevenson Harwood, a law firm in London. I started my engineering career in Mexico as a biomedical engineer, and then I did my master's at the University of Essex in intelligent systems and robotics. Then I moved back to Mexico, and I worked in one of the largest consulting firms in Latin America as a data analyst intern, and then I found this great opportunity for Stevenson Harwood, as a KTP associate. So I've been mentioning Stevenson Harwood. So this is a law firm that has over 1,100 people, 180 partners, partners, 8 offices worldwide, and more importantly, they have clients in over 90 countries. So imagine the variety of cases that they have. So what am I doing here? Why I'm doing this project, and why has Stevenson Harwood joined forces with the University of Essex to solve a problem? So clients appreciate to be provided with accurate legal services costs, and law firms are pressured to have competitive market prices. So you may think this is obvious. Every industry needs to provide to their clients about how much it's going to cost their services, and the industries need to have a competitive market price, right? So when you go to the supermarket, you expect to buy something and to see the price tag and know how much it's going to cost. And you expect that it's not going to cost 3 times more than in any other place, right? So this is not the case for the law firms. So they work in a system called the billable hour. So every hour a lawyer spends providing legal services is charged to the client at a rate. This rate depends on the seniority of the lawyer involved in the case. So there has been a concept around for the last few years that is called the death of the billable hour. And I would say that more than the death is the sickness of the billable hour, because it's still widely used across all the law firms. So what is the main symptom? So basically, client's interest and the firm's interest does not match. So while the clients want to be charged less, and for more efficient lawyers, the law firms want more revenue, meaning they want to charge more hours. So you can imagine the complexity of the relationship between the client and the law firm. So in this graph, actually by Adderant, that is one of the companies that provides software for timekeeping, they were doing a research about why, if the billable hour is dying, why haven't they moved to alternative fee arrangements? So in the bottom part, you can see the reasons why they haven't moved. So if we focus on the main two, is that determining accurate or profitable pricing and estimating how much time and effort the work would require are the 2 most common options or reasons why they haven't moved to another type of charging their clients. So how can we summarize these 2 main reasons into one main question? So it's about how to price legal advice, but take into account for different variations such as case to case, client to client, legal jurisdictions, every country has a different law, and many, many more other variables that I have been discovering that has an impact in the cost. So how can we do this? Well, with data. So you remember the timekeeping system that they use to record the hours for every task. They have been recording the hours for years now. So if we take that data and we take the narratives of them describing what they were doing, we can use machine learning and game theory to develop a cost prediction tool. So we will basically use historic case data and, well, machine learning. But not only any machine learning, you will say, I don't know, for the techie people here, a neural network. No, it needs to be interpretable because we need to be transparent with the clients. So that's the main complexity of the project. So what are the outcomes that we want to get from this? So there are 2 branches. One is for the legal services, and one is for within the firm. So for the legal services, we want to maintain a healthy profit for the firm by using top technology. But at the same time, we want to build and maintain strong client relationships by providing them with accurate cost. There's no client that wants to be surprised with the bill at the end of a service, right? So that's what we want to achieve. So the other branch of the outcomes is within the firm. We want to make the people working in the firm to understand the value of having high-quality data in their systems and improving data literacy across the firm. And we also want to embed data science as a top business intelligence tool for decision-making. So by the end of the project, we aim to first develop a machine learning cost prediction tool. Then we want to have a new database of case summaries. So this database didn't exist. So we had to create it from scratch by asking lawyers about the information and keep it in their system. So now, after the KTP, they will be able to build projects on top of this data that we have collected. The third one is that we want to show data science as a tool to enhance business performance. And hopefully after this, the number 4 is that after this project, new questions will arise, and there will be able to answer them using AI or data science. So now this is more about my experience as a KTP associate and how is it like in a law firm. So this is a quote that I really like, that it's a bad plan that admits of no modification. And I think that it matches closely to my project. So if I could say something to a KTP associate that is starting, it's about planning ahead, but welcome change of plans if needed. So you may have a plan, you have a Gantt chart when you start the project, and you get to the company, and then you figure out that they do things differently. So you have to go around it and try to get to the same outcome doing the things differently, and you have to welcome this change. The other thing is about managing change. So this is the first data science project in the company. So as you may know, every innovative project brings change, and every change brings resistance to change. So in this case in particular, I mean, we know that law firms and lawyers make a lot of money. So if I'm there telling them that they need to change what they're already doing, is actually kind of difficult. So you need to convince them that this is a different way of seeing things, and it's actually the future and what the legal industry is going to evolve to. So yeah, it's about change management. And the third one is about data collection and preparation. So it's, again, about expectations. So you expect that you will get to the company and you will be able to download a data set or just query it by using SQL or whatever you use. But the reality is that you will have to spend a lot of time doing data collection, data annotation if the data is not available. You will have to deal with missing data. You will have to deal with anomalies. So just be patient, and you will be able to apply the algorithms that you are dying to use already. So, yeah. So I've been talking about challenges, but I think the KTP also brings great opportunities. So I just have a few of them, and it's about, you meet people with different points of view. So for example, imagine an engineer talking to a lawyer trying to solve something. So it's a different way of seeing things and trying to get to solutions. It's also about learning to manage change. I've mentioned that already. It's about learning to create dynamic project plans. So you just have to change the plans according to what is happening to the environment and try to get to the solution either way. And the last one is about learning to translate academic knowledge to business language and vice versa. So you have to be able to tell to the business people what the academics are thinking about the project, and try to make the academics understand what the business wants. So this is a very good skill to have for the future and for the project. So yeah, that's it for my side. Thank you.
Wow, wasn't that interesting? Does that mean law bills are going to come down? No, maybe not. We're going to now have a short break for refreshments, which are actually going to be served in the corridor out here. And then after the break, which is going to be for about 15, 20 minutes, if you want to then come back in, we're going to have our keynote speaker for the evening, and that's Tom Slater from Rolls-Royce. So enjoy your break.